All right, guys, thanks for coming back to 900 Pro Shop Bowling Ball reviews right now. We got the new Black Widow Dynasty, so 3.0 Dynasty. Black Widow, very good favorite line of mine. Obviously the 3.0 as well. Solid, smooth, or supposed to be smooth. I've thrown a couple shots with it, so it's a lot sharper than I think already, which is amazing, but let's dig right into it. I got a couple balls to compare it to with my current arsenal, and we'll see how it compares. But yeah, a couple warm-up shots in. It's a house shot here, so I'm already around 30 with my feet. Probably looking around like 18 at the arrows. Get it out to the outside around 5. Okay, so kind of missed a little right. Got it to like 15, so just went to the friction a little earlier. But as you can see, ball just slams right back off the friction. Really sharp for an asymmetrical ball. Layout on it, 45, 4.5, 40. So kind of a little bit sharper than my benchmark. Usually in my benchmark layouts, I use around 4 inches away from my VAP in the second number there. So that shouldn't be the reason, but this ball is coming back off the spot pretty hard. So I'm just gonna make a quick 3-and-1 to the left. Give it some more space, see what happens in the oil. Got better, so got it tighter, got it to 19 at the arrows. I know initially it was around 17, 18, so like I said, 3-and-1. Much better when the ball's staying in the oil a little longer in the front part of the lanes because it gets to the spot better. It's not coming off and coming off sideways. So really, really happy with what I'm seeing so far. And it's a solid ball that came out of box, not too dull, so it's not hooking immediately off my toes. So it's always good that it's more plug and play. You don't have to make any surface adjustments or wait for it to lane shine or anything like that. Missed it right again, but at the same time, I think now that I'm deeper, missing it right and in 9-pin just because it got further down lane to the right. Good sign so far. I'm gonna throw one more. I'm gonna make a little bit of a zone change. I'm just gonna move 5 left. See what happens when I don't get it into the friction. Overall, it's gonna be a tighter line. I just wanna see how it reacts in the oil. Okay, so that one, got it in the middle part of the lane just to see what it'll do. Still picks up. I know the pattern length isn't too long, so it's around 40, 41 feet. So it does still pick up in the middle there, so it doesn't lose out on the traction in the mid lane. So it's all signs point to, for me, a good solid ball that kind of wants to pick up in the right spots, or at least pick up in the spots and inform me where the friction is. One last shot with this before I go into something else. I'm gonna stay where I was. Now I'm actually gonna angle it out and see what happens and see if it comes back from the friction still. It's pretty good. Add a little bit of rotation just because I moved deeper. Definitely just jackknifed off the spot, so very, very responsive for a solid cover. I know my tilt is a little bit more spinny, got a little bit more rotation on it, so it does retain the energy. It hasn't rolled out on me. So actually, you know what? I'm gonna throw one more and change it a little bit. I'm gonna throw a little more forward. See how that reacts when I make a tilt change. So I'm gonna go back to the right, change the rotation on the ball. See how that reacts off the mid. And that looks really good. So being able to play around with my tilt and still getting the right read from the ball is always good news. Sometimes some balls are more sensitive to the release or to how it hits the friction. But this gas mask core, I know it's been around forever, so good signs. Let's compare it with something similar in my arsenal right now. So Widow Tour V1. I know the core's a little different because they dropped a diff on it. I'm just gonna throw a very, very similar shot. see what this does in comparison to what the Dynasty does. So overall, I think that one I also missed right. I was missing all over the place right now, but the ball looked like it hooked earlier and just kind of kept going as well, so I'll just throw a better one. So that was pretty good. Got it back to where I expected it to play with the Dynasty at first. Came off the spot, did everything. Overall, to me, it still looks a little smoother. I don't see this one coming off the spot as hard as the Dynasty because it's not as quick. Could be a little bit of surface I had on it over the week when I was using it. I know this ball does shine up pretty quick. Gonna move back left, migrate, see what happens in there. In the middle. And I think that's kind of the limit of the ball. So you migrate to zone left, you get it into the friction a little later than it does. For me, it does look like it's not really picking up the mid lane as early. And then that's why I never really gave it enough time to go right to left. It's just also smoother of a ball. So I never had that cornering. I think that's how I would play the difference of the two balls. So if I wanted one ball to just kind of blend the pattern better, I'd be using the 2v1. Right now, I know it's still early with the Dynasty. First day I'm throwing it, so if I need this to kind of corner for me, it looks like it's cornering better. We'll have to see once the cover kind of breaks in a little bit and settles down and see what it's really trying to do, but we'll go from there one shot at a time. So last, compared with the Zero Mercy Solid. So this one, probably the biggest ball in my bag right now. Just as early as my maximum effect if you watch those videos, but it's more right to left than a maximum effect to me. Maximum effect kind of gets into a roll, tumbles more forward. Whereas this one, it just hooks early and continues hooking, just much stronger cover. So let's just try it. I'm not even gonna bother the first shot or in the first line, because I feel like it's just gonna be way too early. We'll go to where I finished with the two widows. I turned that one a little bit more than I normally or wanted to. Did come back, but you can see that it's coming back slowly even though I spun it. So normally when you spin the ball and you get more rotation on it, that ball wants to jackknife a little harder. It kind of matched up luckily on a house shot that blended out my mistakes, that it kind of smoothly, slowly walked up and walked back into the pocket. I'm just gonna call that a bad shot I got a good break on, so let's just throw one better. Get more information to compare. That's just infinitely a better shot. So just rolled it. Why I like the ball is you can see where the ball wants to slow down to the front part of the lanes. Roughly around 40 feet, it just slows down and then it kind of walks its way into the pocket. So it's just much a slower piece compared to the widows as expected as well. So it's probably still my first ball out of the bag when I'm trying to get something to kind of hook early enough when the volume's in front. And then I can't really get anything started. Whereas maybe later in the block and I need something to create more angle, but if I get too deep, I go to the widows before going into anything symmetric. So it's a good plug for me that I can fit in a slot right in between my biggest balls to my symmetrical balls. And that's why I think Hammer also started coming out with more and more asymmetrical lines, right? So to me, it's right now that one's the Dynasty is a quicker version. Oh, wrong ball. Quicker version of the 3D Assault that I have. Quicker version of the Widow Tour V1 that I have. Quicker version of all the Zero Mercies. And should still be a bigger core, assuming it'll tumble more than stuff like my Angers, my Hazmat Pearls, my Alert, and stuff in the middle there. So let's finish up with a couple more of these shots. And that's it. So nice little easy 3 in a row. Very, very good for me to kind of see the shape. Let me understand it. So I kind of know what to expect, where to throw it. And it's just, for me, I just like that shape. I'm a big fan of the 3.0. A lot of people like the Mania and all of those. And I think I like the 3.0 a little more. So probably matches up with my tilt and spin. So Black Widow Dynasty, guys. Thanks for watching.